Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Mo Hunt Silver, and we're back with another quarter hunt video for yous. And this time we have an NF String & Sons box, and I could already tell that it's circulated because these boxes have the holes in the bottom, which makes it very easy for us to see. And I will finally have a live box opening as well for quarters, which I haven't had in a while because all my banks either get Brinks or Loomis boxes usually. It's been a while since I've seen the NF String & Sons quarter boxes around here, so I'm excited to get into this, and we're gonna tear into it. Hopefully it tears well, so I like to save these boxes. And we're getting into it. That's actually not too bad. That's pretty good. All right, so we're gonna flop this open, and that looks like we have a pretty good mix of quarters here between older and newer. Hopefully this box will produce at least one W for us. The last hunt was Loomis boxes, and we got 2 W's out of each box, so that was a pretty good hunt, and let's hope the luck continues with this box here. So I'm going to get my discard box up here on the desk and get this one slid over to the side. We'll get into the first roll, and let's hope we can find something good. I'll be back when I have my first find for you. All right. Well, guys, that was a quick box because roll number 50, and we found a 2020 W to save the box, and it is a tall grass prairie. Yeah, pretty average circulation wear on it here, I'd say. But wow, that was a fast box. So I'll definitely be back with another one as soon as I can get it, and let's hope there's more in that one. Well, alrighty, I'm back with another box for this video here now, and it's been a couple weeks, but I do have one, and it's a Brinks box this time, so I had to open it to make sure we have circulated quarters, and we certainly do. So hopefully this will be better than the last Brinks box I got, or I was able to pick up, I should say. I got a good feeling about it. Hopefully we'll get something good here. So, and then I was also able to pick up 5 rolls of Loomis wrapped quarters here. So, and those are circulated as well. So I'm going to go through these first, and then we'll get into this box, and hopefully it's lucky. Wow, guys, we're not going to get skunked in these 5 rolls. I'm almost done with roll number 3 out of those 5, and check it out. I'll give it a flip. That's a clad proof Ohio quarter. Not bad. Well, I was just pleasantly surprised by this one in the last of those 5 rolls, guys. This is exactly how I came up to it. Look at that. We got a 2019 W, and we're going to flip it to see what the design is. Move the rest of that roll out of the way. Here we go. It's in pretty good shape, too. Yeah, hey, San Antonio Missions. Not bad. So for 5 rolls, we're going to get a proof and a W. That's a pretty good 5 rolls right there. All right, well, I'd say that was a productive 5 rolls. Gave us a proof and a W. San Antonio Missions and an Ohio 2002 proof. And we're going to get into this box now and see what we can find in these rolls. Hopefully they're just as productive as those 5 were. Roll number 2 of this quarter box. We only did 2 rolls so far. There it is. And we found another proof. Kind of looks like a silver one in the way, the way the camera's picking up here, but here, I'll show you the edge. It is just clad. You see the copper edge there. And it's a Fort McHenry 2013 clad proof. Awesome. All right, well, we went about 10 rolls, guys. I'm on roll number 12 right now, and I came across a Marsh Billings, and it had a funny look to it, so I flipped it over, And you can probably guess what it was. Check it out. We got a V75 West Point right there. Marsh Billings. Very cool. Well, that is going to do it for that box of quarters, guys. The last find came out of roll number 12, which was that Marsh Billings Rockefeller West Point quarter, which is right here. And we also got the Fort McHenry proof out of this box. And I didn't film them, but we got a couple die chips here. We got 2 Sally Ride quarters that I'll put under the scope and show you real quick. That one there. You can see the die chip in the mouth. And then I'll put the other one under real quick. Same thing. Die chip in the mouth. Pretty good size on that one. And we also found a Crossing the Delaware with a small die chip in the hat. So, figured I'd share those with you real quick in this. And that's going to be it for that box. So far, out of the 2 boxes and the 5 rolls that have been done so far, we actually have 3 W's. Because the 5 rolls, we also produced a West Point and a proof. And that would be an Ohio clad proof quarter. And then we got a San Antonio Missions West Point 2019 here. And I will say that is in pretty good shape for being a 2019 and out in circulation. So I think I'll add at least one more box to this video. And hopefully it'll be real soon. So I'll be back when I have it. I'll see you then. Alright guys, I'm back with a new layout on the desk here, and box number 3. I had to open it to make sure they were circulated quarters, and we do have another box of circulated quarters here to work with. Upon inspecting all the ends of the rolls, I did notice, and you might not be able to see it from this one here, but I do have a few rolls of the 2023 Bessie Coleman in here. So we could be looking for errors on those as well, because there are a few that have already been known and or discovered, I should say. So hopefully we'll find maybe a couple of those. Let's keep our hopes up for some W's and maybe a silver or 2. That'd be awesome. But I'll slide this box to the side and we'll get into the first roll, and I'll share with you the first find that I come across. Roll number 6, guys. And I bring everybody in here because I found something quite interesting. And if anybody knows and can see what it is already, but I actually found a fairly good example that you can see, I guess, in the light this way here. But it's a Sally Ride die clash. And this is one of the better examples that I found. I've only ever found one before, and you could barely see any of it. It's very, very faint. But this one is much, much better. And you can see it there to the right of E Pluribus Unum. There's a little bit above E Pluribus Unum. Just kind of blends in with the, I guess, I don't know what that is there. But the wave that comes over through. And then also to the left of Sally Ride here, just coming up from her shoulder, you can also see a line there. That's also part of the die clash as well. And then if I flip it, on the obverse side, you can't really see it in the camera here, but there's another little line that comes up right here from the back of Washington's head. It's pretty faint though. But yeah, pretty cool. One of the better Sally Ride die clashes I found. Awesome. Definitely take that. Alright guys, we came across something good here. In roll number 22, we have a Business Strike, San Francisco, minted. This would be a minted state quarter here. Or not state quarter, state park quarter. Part of the America the Beautiful series. And they're actually less than the West Point quarters of each of these minted. Which is cool, because it makes it harder than a West Point to find, but at the same time, they're not really worth near as much as West Points are. But we'll flip it over here and see what the design is. And that's going to be a 2014 Arches. And that's actually in really good shape. This thing has not been in circulation long at all. I'll take that for sure. Alright, I bring you guys in because I'm finding some of these Bessie Coleman quarters in a few of the rolls that didn't have any enders. And I came across one here in roll number 29. I threw it under the scope to check for any of the errors or die chips or anything like that. And as you can see, I have one here with the die chip above the wing. Pretty cool. It's not very big, but that's the first one that I've seen so far. And happy to see it, and I'll definitely take it. We'll see if we get any more of those, or maybe bigger. Alright guys, well, that box is hunted. Box number 3. There's all the discards. And I'm going to say it was an okay box. We didn't find any silver, or didn't find any proofs or West Point quarters, but we did find a few other things. I'll just start with what we did find here. And I didn't film these, but there is a die chip on Washington's hat there on that crossing to Delaware. And then this one I found, this Wilma Mankiller here, that I thought was actually kind of neat, because it's the first one I've come across like that. But again, upon flipping it, it is slightly off. There is a slight die rotation to that one. Thought that was pretty neat. I'll put that to the side, you know, hold on to it. And then did find a Sally Ride with a die chip in Washington's mouth right there. You can see it pretty well. Don't even have to put it under the scope. And then a few of these Bessie Colemans that were in the box. I'll put one of these under the scope here for you to show you. And we did have some of the incuse doubling on the initials there. And this one actually looks like it might have a slight, what is that? I don't know, something underneath the end there. That looks like that was on the coin before it was stamped too. But yeah, so we found 3 of those like that. And then I'd say the stars of this box then are going to be this San Francisco NIFC business strike here, Arches quarter. There's only 1.2 million of those minted, which I can show you real quick. Where is it? Right there. 1.235. So that's pretty cool. That's more rare than a W quarter. You don't come across those very often. And then this here Maya Angelou quarter. Put this one under the scope for you as well. I did find this. This is the DDR-002 for the Maya Angelou. You can see it in the earring right there. That's kind of doubled. That's the 002. And then I did find a Bessie Coleman with the die chip on the upper wing of the airplane. You can kind of see that one, but I'll throw that under the scope as well. There you can see it much better. That's pretty cool. It's the only one of those that I found. And then I would say the last find here that was really good was this Sally Ride Die Clash. And you can actually see it there to the right of E Pluribus Unum and above it there. And then just to the left of Sally Ride and coming up off of her shoulder, you can also see the other line for the Die Clash. That would be the backside of Washington's head with his hair and ponytail area. So that's pretty cool. But I'll add another box to this video. So we'll have a 4-box hunt altogether. And as soon as I get that box, which should be this weekend coming up, and we'll get that one going. And hopefully we have some good finds in there. I wanna try to get more W's here. Trying to get to that 50 goal. We're at 41 right now. So we're close. Alrighty, we're back. It's the next week. I have another box of quarters to hunt. And upon opening this box, I did notice we have a bunch of Bessie Coleman enders. I believe I counted 34 rolls with Bessie Coleman enders on both sides. So we'll have 14 rolls of circulated quarters to hunt. Or 16 rolls. My math was a little off there. But I did notice, I forget which one it is now, but one of the rolls of the Bessie Colemans does have the die chip above the wing. So we might be able to find a few of those in here. and still hoping for a W. It'd be nice to get a W out of this box to add one more to the pile. So I'm going to get into this first roll of the box right there. And it looks like it is a circulated roll. Yep, Bert. So we'll see if we can find a W in this one. I'll be back if I do. And if not, I'll be back when I do have a find to show you. Well, roll numbers 1 through 3 didn't have anything in them good. But roll number 4, we found 4 of these here with the die chip on the lower wing of the plane. These Bessie Colemans. Found 4 of these in one roll. So we'll see how many more I can find. They're all really, really in mint state BU condition. But that's 4 in one roll. I still have a bunch more rolls to go. We'll see how many more we can find. Alright guys, well, I decided just to go ahead and hunt the whole box, being that 36 of the rolls were uncirculated Bessie Coleman quarters here. The, you know, the new ones for 2023. But I'll show under the scope in a second here, but this is all of the examples I was able to pull out of the 36 rolls that had the die chip on the lower wing of the airplane. And I'll just put one under the scope right here, and right there you can see, and look, it looks like there might even be something a little starting on top of the wing on this one here. But Blue Ridge Silverhound recently had one of these on one of his I believe it was a Monday market report, and the die chip was a little bit smaller, all these that I found, the die chip is like, I'd say around this size or possibly even larger, really. And then I also, and there's 69 of these that I found with that die chip on the lower wing. And then I found a whole bunch of these that I just didn't decide to keep here because there was so many of them. I probably could have pulled at least 100 of these out. You can see that die chip right there. It's much smaller and more forward on the wing. But I had so many of those, I just decided not to keep any of them. And then we found a few examples. There you can see it with the doubling on Bessie Coleman's nose and her lips there. Found a whole bunch of these. There you can see it pretty good. I'm only going to keep a couple of the really nice ones that I found, because there was a bunch of those as well. And then the last thing, I probably found about a dozen, maybe not quite a dozen, with the Incuse doubling on the initials here on the quarter. And they all range from different different extremities in that, or extreme, so I'm not gonna keep a whole bunch of those either. I'm just gonna keep the really nice examples. So and the same goes with these here with the large die chip on the lower wing. I'm probably just gonna keep a roll of the nicer ones, and then I'm gonna put the rest in the box and send them out. So you guys might be able to find a couple of those if you're in the eastern Pennsylvania area, or wherever these coins get distributed next, because who knows where it could be. And they do seem like they're fairly common. Like I guess, I don't know what they're selling for on eBay, maybe $5 or so. But that's pretty cool. So like I said, I'm going to keep a roll of the nicer ones that I was able to pull out, and send the rest of them back. So I think I'm going to wrap up this hunt possibly, and we'll be back with a full wrap up for this 4-box hunt. Alright, we're back for a wrap up of the boxes now, all 4 boxes together, and it was a decent hunt, I would say. We didn't find any silver, but we did find W's, proofs, and a bunch of die varieties, and a couple other an NIFC, and yeah, a couple other things. So we'll get right into it with box number 1. we were able to pull a Tallgrass Prairie, and that is going to be a W V75, only 2 million minted. And then box number 2, we were able to also pull a Fort McHenry, and that's going to be a S-clad proof. And that one is minted only to 946,000, I believe, if I'm correct. So that's a pretty rare one. And then we also were able to get a 2020 Marsh Billings, and that is also going to be a W V75 right there. Again, only 2 million minted. And then I needed to pick up a couple rolls to fill a box so I could cash it back in, because I like cashing in full boxes, and sometimes I could swap boxes that way. So I needed a couple rolls, and out of those couple rolls, I was able to pull this Ohio clad proof right there. Not bad. I believe, let's see, there is just over 3 million of those minted. So that's not near as rare as the Fort McHenry, but still pretty cool. And then we were also able to pull this really, really nice San Antonio Missions 2019 W there. That's in the best shape out of all 3 Ws for this hunt. I'll take that for sure. All right, and then box number 3, we had a whole plethora of die chips and neat finds, I would say. So we got the Maya Angelou, and that is going to be the DDR number 2, which I'll throw under the scope real quick so you guys can see it. There it is in the earring. That's number 2. And then we got a few die chips in the Sally Ride quarters. The I guess that'd be the Drooling George. Got a couple Bird's Nest die chips in the Washington crossing the Delaware. And then this Bessie Coleman, you can see the die chip on the upper wing of the plane right there. I was able to pull that. And then I thought this was kind of strange, this Wilma Mankiller quarter, because I always flip all my coins just like my nickels. And when I flip this one over, this seems to have about, I'd say about 15 to 20 degrees of counterclockwise die rotation. So that's pretty neat. Pulled that aside. And then we have our NIFC. And that's going to be the 2014 Arches quarter. There's only 1.2 million of those, so that's even more rare than the West Point quarters, the Ws. And then I think probably one of the best finds for that box is going to be, you can see it there, but the Sally Ride die clash error. Maybe you can see it better in some light here. Yeah. It's there. It's faint, but it's there. But that's pretty neat. There you can see it coming off her shoulder there on the left side. But thought that was neat. That's one of the better examples that I have. And here you can even see a little thing coming off Washington's the back of his head there. So that's going to be box number 3 for the hunt. And then box number 4 was mostly uncirculated. I had 36 rolls of Bessie Coleman uncirculated quarters. And we got a whole bunch of die chips on the plane. The lower wing of the plane on these here. We got a couple of the Incuse doubling. And we got some of the doubling on Bessie Coleman's nose and her lips as well. And then I didn't mention it in the box wrap-up for box number 4, but I did find this one here, which has die chips on both the upper and lower wings of the plane. So that's pretty wild. And then these 2 stacks here are the remainders of the die chips on the lower wing right there of the plane. And I just wanted to show you guys. Like I said, I was going to put them back in the box. And there they go. So they all went back in there, and we're going to mix them in. Because I am definitely not going through that box to pick them back out. That's for sure. So that's going to do the wrap-up for this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry this wrap-up was a little long, but had a lot of cool things to cover and new stuff to cover as well. But if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And we'll see you on the next one. Let's hope it's a good one.